The Pope's passing sets in motion a series of tradition and transition.
And Local 10's Glenna Milberg is in our newsroom now with more on what is next. Glenna.
Christy, Louis, what is next? A centuries-old tradition and process that starts with what is underway right now, public mourning for a beloved spiritual leader. That was the white smoke moment in March 2013, the signal that a new pope was selected, and that would be Pope Francis. Now, to get to that moment again, the centuries-old process begins. Tradition, faith, prayer, and if needed, compromise. First, the next 9 days make the official mourning period, a chance for the public from around the world to say goodbye. The Pope will lie in state in St. Peter's Square for the final few days, and then the funeral, a grand 2-hour solemn ceremony in Latin where the world's leaders will come to pay respects. And then the conclave, the assembly of cardinals to elect a new pope, begins. Those who will pray and contemplate, discuss, and vote are sealed off from the outside world at the Sistine Chapel, take an oath of secrecy under a media blackout by the Vatican. Only with a 2/3 majority can a new pope be chosen, and if that does not happen after a round of voting, more prayer, more discussion, and more voting. Each round of ballots is burned. Failed votes with a chemical that burns black smoke, the message to the public to wait. And success, the white smoke, signals to the world a new pope is chosen. Cardinal Kevin Farrell is now acting head of the Vatican, and he is overseeing all of those proceedings from now until then. Louis.
All right, we'll see how this plays out. Thank you, Glenna, for this, and stay with Local 10 for continuing coverage on the Pope's passing. Our very own Janice Fernandez is heading back to Vatican City. You will have live reports from her as soon as she arrives, and of course, look for both updates on air and online on local10.com.
Sir, your message to Catholics, sir, mourning the loss of Pope Francis. Your message to Catholics, sir.
We love you all. We're with you all. They were with me during the election, as you know, very strongly, and it's just an honor to have the support of the Catholics, and I feel very badly for them because they love the Pope.
No matter who the next Pope is, sir, no matter who the next Pope is elected, whoever that may be, what relationship do you hope to have with the incoming Pope?
I think very good. I've had that, but I think very good.
and Trump administration officials mistakenly shared sensitive files with thousands of federal employees, including potentially classified White House floor plans, according to the Washington Post, which reports it found the breach through an internal records review. The Washington Post reports workers at the General Services Administration, which oversees most administrative and IT support for the federal government, were at fault for sharing the sensitive documents. The mistake reportedly led to a cybersecurity report and probe last week. The Post reports career GSA workers unintentionally shared a Google Drive folder holding sensitive files with more than 11,200 GSA employees, including a blueprint plan of a blast door for the White House Visitor Center and banking information for a vendor working with the Trump administration. The documents did not detail whether the White House plans or bank account info were classified documents. But 9 of the 15 files were designated as controlled unclassified information, while at least 10 of those files allowed thousands of GSA workers to edit information within them. This report comes after top U.S. defense officials mistakenly added the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic to a Signal group chat on Yemen airstrike plans, as well as a fresh report Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also allegedly sent those strike plans to family members and his personal attorney as well. Hegseth addressed the report on Monday.
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
The press secretary also addressed the report, telling reporters she spoke with Trump about it this morning, and he stands strongly behind Hegseth. The latest case over GSA plans being leaked spans at least 4 years. The Post reporting the Google Drive documents were shared as early as 2021, and files were shared as recently as last week. Neither the GSA nor the White House have commented on this report. An investigation into the matter is reportedly ongoing, and the documents in question are no longer accessible to the thousands of federal employees.
All right, moving on. Iran is making major strides in its space ambitions, and it is doing so with the help of Russia. Iran has reportedly been constructing a massive space facility near the city of Chabahar, located on the coast of the Gulf of Oman and strategically located close to the equator, which is extremely important because proximity to this reduces fuel consumption and also increases the efficiency of space launches. Well, according to a Bloomberg report, Iran is modeling this complex after Florida's Cape Canaveral. The 54-square-mile spaceport in Chabahar is reportedly designed to accommodate powerful rockets capable of putting large spacecraft into orbit. The facility was originally scheduled to become operational last year, but delays have pushed its timeline forward now. Well, Tehran's partnership with Moscow, it has deepened majorly in recent years. Early this year, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed a comprehensive strategic agreement with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Just last October, Russia helped Iran put its first privately manufactured satellites into orbit. Russia has also been extensively using Iranian Shahed drones in attacks against Ukraine. And according to experts quoted in the Bloomberg report, Russia is also sharing its decades-long expertise in aerospace with Iran. And this reportedly is sparking serious alarm in Washington and Tel Aviv. Last month, General Anthony Cotton, commander of U.S. Strategic Command, said that the same systems used to launch satellites can shorten the timeline for manufacturing intercontinental ballistic missiles. That means, with the help of Russia now, Iran's space program could double as a military upgrade. Iran reportedly aims to place 20 internet satellites into the orbit. Well, according to experts, with improved satellite guidance, Tehran's ability to launch long-range precision strikes would increase dramatically. Experts said that this new capability could allow Iran to guide its missiles with greater accuracy and faster response times than ever before. A senior Iranian official revealed last November that Tehran plans to inject approximately $11 million into its National Space Agency. For Iran, space may be the new battleground for dominance. And with Russia as its partner, Tehran may just be gearing up for a bigger role, not just on Earth, but beyond it. Well, Beijing has test-fired a non-nuclear hydrogen bomb. The test comes amid rising tensions in the South China Sea. The test induces a chain reaction, fireball exceeding temperatures of 1,000 degrees Celsius. Our next story takes a look at how it perhaps could change the power dynamics.
In a world already teetering on the edge of chaos, from raging wars in Eastern Europe to West Asia and rising hostilities in the South China Sea. Beijing has just thrown a thunderbolt in the geopolitical arena. In a stunning display of power, Beijing confirms the successful detonation of a non-nuclear hydrogen bomb, a scientific feat that blurs the line between military signaling and psychological warfare. The implications of this test are far-reaching. While not a nuclear detonation, the hydrogen bomb, even without a nuclear trigger, demonstrates a mastery of advanced physics and engineering. It signifies the potential to miniaturize and weaponize hydrogen fusion technology, further complicating the global balance of power. This is about influence. The message is clear. China now possesses the ability to replicate the destructive force of nuclear weapons without triggering nuclear treaties or drawing direct retaliation. By mastering non-nuclear thermonuclear technology, Beijing sidesteps the global nuclear taboo while still flexing strategic muscle. It's a calculated escalation that threatens to redefine the rules of deterrence. Unlike nuclear weapons, this new class of fusion devices falls outside the regulatory grasp of treaties like the Non-Proliferation Treaty, meaning there's little stopping a new arms race built not on uranium but on fusion. Bureau Report WION, World is One.
Well, the United States of America and Philippines are strengthening their combat readiness. Both militaries have launched their most aggressive joint war drills, preparing for the possibility of direct conflict with China, especially around flashpoints like Taiwan and the disputed South China Sea. The annual Balikatan military exercise has entered uncharted regions this year. They now include full-scale battle simulations designed to test whether American and Filipino forces can operate side by side in an actual war zone, with the main aim of defending critical islands and maritime choke points from a potential Chinese assault. Well, more than 17,000 troops from both the countries are now participating in these war games. Troops will fire live rounds, intercept simulated missile threats, and also conduct island defense operations in areas that are strategically important to both the countries and fiercely contested by Beijing. Well, Washington's access to the Philippines is expanding now. Manila has now opened 4 additional military bases to U.S. forces, bringing the total to 9, which will and can perhaps directly contain Chinese military expansion around the Philippines. This year's war drills also include a 10-day island defense mission involving the Batanes Island chain, the Philippines' northernmost region, which borders Taiwan. U.S. Marine forces are also deploying anti-ship mobile missile launchers right into the Luzon Strait, marking the first time that they have put this kind of firepower in such close proximity to Chinese forces. The strait is a narrow stretch of sea that separates the Philippines from Taiwan. The two countries will also carry out coastal defense exercises on Palawan, the Philippine island that faces the South China Sea. In Balabac, a small islet now hosting a U.S.-backed base, the two countries will conduct a 5-day security operations. Well, Balabac is located closely to the Second Thomas Shoal and Sabina Shoal, sites where China and the Philippines have clashed repeatedly in the past. Palawan will also see its beaches transformed into mock battlefields. U.S. and Filipino troops will simulate repelling enemy landings in a live-fire drill, the kind of scenario that would play out if China ever attempted to seize Philippines by force. The Chief of Staff of the Philippine Armed Forces said that these exercises between U.S. and the Philippines will encompass multiple warfare capabilities, while a U.S. Marine Corps commander highlighted the cutting-edge systems being tested in the drills.
And BK-25 is set to introduce new capabilities that have been developed over the course of many, many years and spoken of already, frankly, here in the media. Things like the Navy and Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System. Things like the Marine Air Defense Integrated System, MADIS, and the Army's medium-range capability, the Typhoon missile.
The spokesperson for China's foreign ministry accused the Philippines of undermining regional stability by aligning with foreign militaries and bringing in advanced weapons.